Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of D&D Quick Shots. My name is Brandon, and we're going to jump straight into a question that we received via Reddit. It says, "Hi guys, I'm kind of new to the DM role, and I need some help to set up a good and proper combat for the level of the party. What should I look for? More weak enemies or a few stronger? And I can't understand the challenge value indicated on every monster in the monster manual. Thanks." So sit back, relax. We're going to go into challenge ratings, setting up combat, and how all of that should go. All right. So first and foremost, let's talk about overall mechanics when it comes down to whether you should do a few strong enemies or whether you should do a whole lot of weaklings. Basic layout, what I always talk about is going to be action economy. So what action economy actually means is how many rounds of combat within a single round actually happen. So how many people are going to be attacking. So let's put it in perspective, right? So at level 5, you're going to have a lot of them are going to have multi-attacks. So that means you're going to have 2 attack actions, plus you're going to have however many number of players. So let's just worst case scenario say 4 players, you're looking at 8 turns of actually attacking in a single round. On top of that, a lot of the monsters are going to have multi-attacks. So let's say it's 4 monsters. Worst case scenario, you're looking at somewhere another 8 rounds of actual attacks. So in 1 round of combat, you're going to be rolling dice 16 times at a minimum if you have that kind of layout. So that's a 4v4. So how I always look at it is action economy. How long do I want each round to last? If it's going to be a scenario where I have a lot of spellcasters that can do a lot of AoE and stuff like that, more minions isn't a terrible concept. If it's going to be straight hack and slash, all physical combat and everything else, it's going to take a lot longer. I'm going to probably opt for a little bit more of the stronger enemies that are going to have a little bit more capability to absorb damage. So it really comes down to party composition and how long you want things to last. Not so much an easy answer as, a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 or 3 minions to 1 boss. There's no real math there. It only comes down to how long you want things to last as a whole. On the flip side of it, the challenge rating system means in general, 4 characters of whatever level should be able to take on this at whatever rating. So if it's a CR 8, that means 4 level 8 characters should be a decent challenge for that. If it's a CR 5, 4 level 5 characters. Now, with that in mind, those are all theoretical. I very rarely actually pay attention to the actual CR levels other than generic range. So a lot of combat and things you always talk about in tier 1 play, tier 2 play, tier 3 play, and tier 4 play. So I always look at things in kind of that realm. So if it's a tier 1 monster, it's going to be anywhere between, the CR 1/8 all the way up to like about a CR 5. So if I have, let's say, 4 level 3 characters, I might throw a CR 5 at them. But I also may throw, 4 CR 1s still. It really just depends on what I want them to accomplish. The other side of thing that really matters more than what the actual CR is does it make sense for the story you're telling, right? So if you have a bandit camp and you have in there 38 bandits in there, that's a very, very large grouping. Why are they all there? If they're all there because they all just left, and raided some village, that's a whole lot. That's probably significantly more than realistic. On the flip side of that, if you have a bandit camp, quote unquote, and there's only 3 bandits in there, that's a little bit light, right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless it was just a small raiding group that they tracked and what have you. So I always try to make sure theoretically it makes sense. If it's kobolds are known to have a whole lot of them. If you're chasing down rats in the sewers, there's going to be a whole lot of those, right? But if it's going to be something huge like a shambling mound, those aren't really known for huddling together. So there's not really an easy answer of saying, okay, well, you need this many of this creature to make it make sense. It really comes down to, does the situation make sense? Number 1. Number 2, does it make sense for the, overall storyline of how many or whatevers are actually at that location? And then number 3, it's really just how long do you want combat to take. If you want to take a long time and you want to spend 3 hours on combat, yeah, throw 15 enemies at 5 players. So you have 20 actions minimum in a round, could be up to 40 actions in a round. Yeah, that's going to take a long time. So there are things you can do to group that kind of stuff together as well. You know, one tip I always give out to when you're running a bunch of monsters at the same time, there is in the DMG some information on rolling groups of enemies at the same time. It's definitely worth checking out. I often will do that same kind of thing. So on the monster's turn, I don't go down the list. I go through all of the monsters that are between, you know, let's say I have 3 players and one's, you know, at initiative like 20, 15, and 10. Every monster between 20 and 15 are going to go at the exact same time. I'm not going to worry about, well, this one moves before this one moves before this one moves. I just take them and move them all. Same kind of thing is that if they're on the flip side of that, you know, there's 2 or 3 players at the same time going in the same initiative order, you know, I will let them act at the same time. You know, hey, all of you guys are acting before the next set of monsters. You guys divvy it out. And what that does is that allows a little more creativity, and it allows the players to be able to move a little bit more effectively, a little bit more, you know, efficiently. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's not really a huge deal, and they can do a lot more fun stuff with a little bit of flexibility there. So with that in mind, that's my advice to how you should set up a combat, how much space you should take in between things. And again, you know, definitely, I hope everybody enjoyed the feedback there. Definitely like and subscribe, and I'm anxious to hear questions. Feel free to throw out anything either in the thread, or I'll be checking Reddit as well, and I look forward to seeing more questions. Thanks, and have a great day, guys.